Bail enforcement officers have hit GTA Online, and today I'm going to explain exactly how they work. We're going to cover everything: if you should buy one, where you should buy one, what upgrades you should buy, and how much money you can actually expect to make with this. So let's not waste any time, let's get straight into it. First things first, how do you actually buy one? Well, head into your phone, go into Maze Bank foreclosures, and here you can see there are 5 bail officers around the map. Let's talk location. There is one for relatively cheap at the top of the map in Paleto Bay for 1.65 million. This is the cheapest one, but as always, don't recommend getting a business this far away from everything. It's just not going to be worth it. Moving back down to Earth in Los Santos, we have 4 different options, starting off with Davis for 2 million, Del Perro for 2.35, Mission Row for 2.39, and then downtown Vinewood for 2.62 million. Look, all of these are going to be fine. If I had to pick the best location, I would pick the one in Vinewood. It's just the closest to the top of the map, because sometimes you will need to go up to Sandy Shores and very occasionally up to Paleto Bay. Mission Row is also pretty good. It's got good access to the highway, which should make your missions a bit quicker. Moving into the upgrades, we've got the usual upgrades. First off, we've got style. This is just going to change the look of the interior. Obviously not necessary, but if you have the money, sure, make your business look a bit better. We've got agents, which is very important. We'll cover that in depth in just 1 second. But moving on to personal quarters, this will add a bed to your business so you can fast travel there. A gun locker will let you change your loadout, but at this point you probably already have a gun locker in other properties, so really not worth it. And then we have armor plating for your bail enforcement van. This is an upgrade I'd actually recommend getting. For $125,000, it's not that expensive, and it's gonna make your bounty hunting just a bit easier. It makes the back of the van pretty much bulletproof, which is definitely very handy to have. Okay, so what about these agents that I spoke about? Well, you can hire up to 2 agents. They're going to be $750,000 each. But to understand how these agents actually work and help you, you kind of need to understand how the rest of the business works first. So we're going to cover these closer to the end of the video. Alright, so we're in our bail office. What do we do? How does this work? Well, there's 2 main ways you're going to make money with this. The first is through the bounty hunting that you'll do on the computer here, and the second is through the safe in your office. Let's start with the actual bounty hunting. Once you log into your computer, you'll see 4 different targets. 3 of these are going to be blue, and they're going to pay you a bit less, normally around $35,000 to $40,000. And then there'll be a most wanted target in red that will pay you about triple that. So let's start with the most wanted. How does this work? The most wanted target can only be completed once per day. Now there's 6 different targets, and those are of course gonna rotate daily. All of these most wanted targets follow a similar mission structure. You're basically just gonna have to go to a couple of locations, complete a pretty basic task, like with Grace Whitney for example, go to the morgue, take a photo of a dead body, go to a different location, take out the armed guards, disarm the bounty target, and then put them back in the van. The most wanted targets are a bit unique though, because at their second location, there can be secondary loot. So here in this Grace Whitney mission, for example, Jeanette tells us about a painting that's on the wall. What we have to do is go get a bag, then go back over to the painting, cut out the painting, and we get a bit of extra money once we finish the mission. Not much though, like this painting was only worth $5,000, but better than nothing. Once you actually get to your bounty target though, you do have a couple of options, or a few options even. You can kill them, which I wouldn't recommend. You can disarm them by shooting the gun out of their hand, or you can use a stun gun on them. Now, killing them by far is the worst option. That's going to decrease your pay by 75%. You're only going to get 1/4 of the payout. And the thing is, it's not even quicker. Like, even if you do kill them, you still need to pick up the body and then drive them to the morgue. So yeah, we'd just never recommend doing that if you can avoid it. You're always going to want to shoot the gun out of their hand or stun them and then pick them up and put them in the van. Once you do that, all you have to do is drive back to your bail office, and then Jeanette is gonna start processing the payment. Okay, so what does that mean? Why don't you just get paid immediately? Well, because this is a bail office, you actually need to process the payment and then hand them over to the police, so it's gonna take a bit of time for you to actually get paid. But how long? That's the question. Well, this is where those agents come into play that we mentioned earlier. If you have 0 agents, it's gonna take you 24 minutes to get that payment, which is half of one in-game in-game day. Of course, an in-game day in GTA Online is 48 minutes, so half a day is 24 minutes. After the 24 minutes are up, you'll get paid, and that's that. If you buy one agent though, for $750,000, that's going to cut that time in half, meaning you can process any bounty targets in 12 minutes. If you buy a second agent, again, it's going to cut that time in half, so it's going to reduce it from 12 minutes down to 6 minutes. Now, to be honest, this doesn't really matter too much. It's not like it's actually going to make you more money, it's just going to help you get the payment a bit faster. It's definitely a nice feature to have, but yeah, at the end of the day, you are still getting the same payment, so you're not going to make more money by processing them faster. But that's not all the agents can do. They can actually help you make money as well through the safe that's in your office. So how does this actually work? Well, once you have agents in your office here, you just go over to them, press right on your D-pad, and it'll send them out on a mission, basically where they do what you did. So they're going to go out and do some bail enforcement work as well. This is going to take them one in-game day, or 48 minutes. And once those 48 minutes are up, money will be added to your safe. So how much money can actually be added to your safe, and how much money can the safe hold? Well, every 48 minutes, once these agents deposit the money into the safe, it'll pop up on the bottom left of your screen, and that number will be between $5,000 and $10,000 per agent. So basically, every 48 minutes, you can get between $10,000 and $20,000 if you have two agents doing these for you. As for how much the safe can hold, $100,000. Honestly, I was pretty disappointed when I saw how much money these agents can make you. So my final verdict on the agents is they're probably not worth it. Or at least not unless you plan to spend lots and lots of time using this business. Yes, they do get you the money from your bounties a bit faster, but the fact that the only money they actually make you is $5,000 to $10,000 every in-game day, I was expecting a bit more if we're gonna have to pay $750,000 per agent. The final part of the business we need to talk about are the rest of the bounties. So of course you've got your most wanted bounties that you can do once per day, but what about the other three? Okay, so these ones will get you between $35,000 and $40,000 normally, and these reset once every hour. So the most wanted is once per day, the other ones are once per hour. So you can do 3 of them per hour. These ones are normally a lot quicker than the most wanted bounties, not that those ones were particularly long, but these are very, very short missions. An important tip for all of these bounties is that you don't actually need to drive your van to the location. So for example, you can just call in your Sparrow, your Buzzard, your Oppressor Mark II even, and just fly over to the location where the bounty target is at. Once you actually stun or disarm the target and walk up to them, you can put them straight in the van. Even if the van is on the complete other side of the map, it's going to teleport the van directly to you. So yeah, don't go wasting your time driving your van all across the map to pick up these targets. The only time you'll need the van is once you actually have the target and drive them back to the business. Now, for these normal bounties, there's a few different types of missions you can get. The first is for any Duggans. So if the surname of your bounty target is Duggan, you're gonna have to go break into a Duggan hideout. This one's very simple. If you can't figure out how to break into the office once you're inside the arcade here, or the hideout, you just need to go up to this Madame Nazar arcade game, put a coin in there, and then that will open up the office. Next, we have the CCTV missions, where you need to go hack into a signal box, then find the target. There's not really any tips I can give you for this one. This one's very straightforward. Then we've got a pretty similar mission where you have to go to an abandoned prison bus, investigate the clothing, and then follow a blood trail. But you don't actually have to do that. Instead, if you're in a vehicle with lock-on missiles, you don't even need to investigate the jacket that's on the ground at all. You can actually just fly up, and your missiles should lock on to where the target actually is. So instead of going over and investigating the crime scene, just use your lock-on missiles to figure out where the target's at, go over there, stun them, and take them back to the office. We have another mission where you have to break into the Lost MC clubhouse. Once you're inside, take out all of the bikers. There's going to be 3 fuse boxes that you need to shoot. One of those will open the shutter door that you need to open in order to find your target. That one's pretty straightforward. There's another mission where you have to go to a mansion, take out the guards outside, start blowing things up, then eventually you're gonna have to cut the power to the house. At that point, just look around. There should be a table nearby that will have the bolt cutters on them that you need to cut the power. And then finally, we've got another one where you need to go into a bank, take out a few armed guards, and then take out your target. This one will get the police on you, so what I would recommend doing is getting the target, putting them back in the van, and then just hopping out of the van, hop in a flying vehicle, and just fly up off in the air until you lose the cops. Unfortunately, you can't just bribe the authorities or call Lester for this one, so this is going to be the most effective way to lose the cops. And that's the bail enforcement office, done and dusted. As for my overall thoughts on the business, do I think this is worth it if you want to make money? My answer is no, I don't. I'm not completely sure where I would rank this business. Right now, I definitely don't think it's in the top 5. It's really just not one of the best ways to make money. But with that said, it's not completely horrible. Personally, I find this business very fun to do. I'll definitely come back and do all of these most wanted contracts each day. But beyond that, I really only see this business being useful when it's on double or triple money. Being able to get about $40,000 per bounty for about 5 minutes work isn't completely horrible, but the fact that you can only do 3 of these per hour, along with the fact that there's just other better ways to make money in the game, yeah, in the future I'll be doing these for fun. I won't necessarily be doing these for money. Anyway, I hope this video helped you out. If you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up, consider subscribing for more stuff like this. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Boys!
Favorite color, money green. I've been on my grind since I was in the 7th grade. Had my first kid, I was only 17. Always a provider for my pack like Wolverines. But you won't find me on the mountaintop. Need no calculator, I could weigh it cause it kinda lie. Always on my top around that paper like a Michael Scott.